The shadow world of espionage, every intelligence agency has missions it wants the world to know about, the kind that demonstrates power, precision, and reach. And then there are missions so secret, so risky, that they are buried in silence. Mossad, Israel's legendary spy agency, has many such stories. But one operation stands above the rest, an operation so daring and so mysterious that decades later questions still swirl around how it was planned and how it was executed and whether we even know the whole truth. This is the story of Mossad's most mysterious mission, the story of shadows, deception, and survival, where every answer only leads to more questions. To understand why this mission became legendary, we first need to understand what makes Mossad different. Most spy agencies serve powerful nations with vast resources. The CIA has billions at its disposal and global bases across continents. MI6 carries the weight of Britain's colonial legacy and centuries of experience. But Mossad was born out of desperation, a tiny state surrounded by enemies where intelligence wasn't just a tool of influence, but the very shield that allowed the nation to exist. From the very beginning, Mossad understood something simple. In a world where the odds are stacked against you, survival depends on information. Information about what your enemies are planning, information about where the next threat might come from, information about weapons shipments, troop movements, or secret deals. And when information isn't enough, Mossad also knew how to act quietly, decisively, permanently. Over the years, Mossad became famous or infamous for missions that seemed pulled from the pages of a thriller novel. The capture of Adolf Eichmann in Argentina, the revenge campaign after the Munich massacre, covert operations against nuclear programs in hostile states, each mission daring, each one carried out in near silence and often denied for years. But one stands apart, one that even seasoned intelligence officers struggle to explain. That mission is the 1960 abduction of Eichmann, the Nazi war criminal known as the architect of Holocaust. Officially, the story is simple. Mossad tracked him to Buenos Aires, where he lived under an alias. The team of operatives ambushed him on dark street, sedated him, and smuggled him onto a plane back to Israel, where he stood trial. The world applauded Israel's courage. It was one of the most dramatic moments in intelligence history. But behind that official story lies mystery. How exactly did Mossad identify Eichmann with certainty? After years of false leads, how did they move an entire covert team in and out of Argentina without detection? How did they get him past airport security and onto a commercial flight without arousing suspicion? Even today, files remain classified. Even today, intelligence veterans hint that the operation may have involved layers of deception, secret contacts inside Argentina, and perhaps even quiet cooperation from parties who never admitted their role. Some historians believe Mossad may have received indirect help from German or American intelligence, who wanted Eichmann exposed but couldn't be seen doing it themselves. Others insist Mossad acted completely alone, relying on its trademark resourcefulness and daring. What's certain is this: the mission succeeded against impossible odds, and its execution remains one of the greatest mysteries in the history of espionage. But Eichmann is not the only candidate for Mossad's most mysterious mission. Some point to Operation Diamond in 1966, when Mossad convinced an Iraqi pilot to defect and deliver his Soviet-made MiG-21 fighter jet, the crown jewel of the Soviet Air Force, to Israel. It was an intelligence coup of global proportions. Western Air Force studied the plane for years, giving them critical advantages in aerial combat. But again, the details remain shrouded in secrecy. How exactly did Mossad recruit the pilot? What promises were made? Who else was involved? We may never know the full extent. Others argue what Mossad's sabotage of enemy nuclear programs deserve the title. From Stuxnet, the cyber weapon developed with American cooperation, to the mysterious explosions and assassinations that have slowed nuclear projects across the Middle East, Mossad's hand is often suspected but rarely confirmed. Scientists killed in Tehran, facilities mysteriously destroyed, sensitive equipment vanishing before it could even be installed. Are these Mossad missions? The agency never says. The silence only deepens the mystery. The truth is that Mossad's most mysterious mission may not be the only one single operation, it may be a pattern of leaving just enough evidence to terrify its enemies, while never providing confirmation. A pattern of using mystery itself as a weapon, because sometimes what people image you are capable is more powerful than anything you actually do. This is what sets Mossad apart, where the CIA is scrutinized by Congress, where MI6 is wrapped in British tradition, where the KGB drowned in bureaucracy. Mossad thrives on being misunderstood. Its greatest victories may not be the operations we know about, but the ones we will never know. Consider this. If Mossad successfully carried out dozens of missions that remain classified, isn't the ultimate mystery the fact that we don't even know about who to ask? What if the stories we hear are just the tip of the iceberg, carefully managed leaks designed to build an aura of invincibility, while the true operations remain buried forever? Think about Eichmann again. The official version is dramatic enough to stand as legend. But what if the truth is even stranger? The Mossad had a web of silent partners, secret channels, and invisible hands nudging the mission to success. We will likely never know, and maybe that is exactly the point. Mossad's most mysterious mission is not just a single operation, but the way it has mastered the art of secrecy itself. By never revealing too much, by never confirming, Mossad has made itself larger than life. Its enemies are left second guessing, its allies are kept on edge, and the world is left wondering, what else are they capable of? That's the genius of mystery. In the world of espionage, information is power, but ignorance is fear, and fear is often the most powerful weapon of all. So when we ask, what is Mossad's most mysterious mission? The answer is layered. It might be Eichmann's capture, it might be theft of a Soviet jet, it might be a nuclear sabotage, or it might be something we don't even know what happened. Something buried so deep in secrecy that it may never come to light, and perhaps that is the real mission. Not to act in silence, but to remain forever in mystery. Because in the end, espionage isn't about what you reveal, it's about what you conceal. And Mossad, more than any other agency, has turned concealment into an art form. So is Mossad's most mysterious mission the one that changed history, the one whispered about in intelligence circles, or the one that never left the shadows? Perhaps it's all of them. Perhaps the greatest mystery is that we'll never truly know, and that's why Mossad remains one of the most feared and most mysterious agencies on earth. In our next investigation, we'll pull back another layer of shadow war, the hidden rivalry between Mossad and Iran's Quad Force, a silent battle of sabotage, assassinations, and strategy that could shape the entire future of Middle East.